Hey, Raku. Thanks for the host, as usual. Huh. Hmm. Hey, Carl. Looks like we're gonna have a little bit of scuff this time. Alright, let's put a couple more minutes up on the timer here. Okay. Alright, what is going on with the avatar? And that fixed nothing. Okay. Kitty. Kitty, you're not being very helpful here. Okay. Okay. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna have to restart OBS here. So... yeah, it's being weird. Okay, so yeah, I'll be dropping stream for a moment here. I should be back up relatively soon. Alright, hello everybody, I'm back. And I actually have an avatar. It's like I'm a VTuber or something. That'll help if we... yes, there, better position. Alright. Thanks for sticking around. Now, let's go ahead and get into the game. It's been long enough. Oh, of course. First we lose the capture. Okay, so there we go. Back into the game with more gun breaking. Alright, you'll be pleased to hear that the Yellow Jackets have offered us an assignment. After taking on more than we bargained for with our previous clients, we're hoping this one will turn out to be relatively straightforward. We haven't heard what it entails yet, but I'll bet it's something important. A man called Futang Yafutang has arranged to meet us in Bulwark Hall. Let's go and see what he wants. Okay, yeah, just walk through me, you big cat. Seriously. People are rude. Indeed. That is indeed a name. Okay. Looks like he should be... yep, over here. Oh, Alala. I should have known. Yep. Thank you for coming at such short notice. Time is of the essence, so I'll be brief. We want you to protect Goldwheats, who was, until recently, leader of the Flaming Mongrels. They were once a gang of raiders, but eventually settled in Limsa Luminsa to extort and rob their way to a position of considerable influence in the criminal underworld. That all ended when Goldwheats turned himself in. No one saw it coming, not even the other Flaming Mongrels. He's due to give testimony in exchange for a reduced sentence. And not just about the crimes he's committed himself, either. All the gangs he's had dealing with have ample reasons to silence him before he spills his secrets. He's currently being held in the Morave dry docks. Your job is to see that he reaches Limsa in one piece. So you want us to act as bodyguards to a criminal? I don't like the sound of that. We'd be protecting the information that's in his head, which could be used to bring countless other lawbreakers to justice. Sounds like a worthwhile cause to me. It is. And before you ask why we're hiring outsiders, it's to avoid attention. If I pull too many yellow jackets from their posts, the gangs will... Kitty. Kitty. Yep. The gangs will figure out what's going on. Better to give the impression that it's all business as usual while using professionals like you to escort him in secret. We still need to secure the route, so I'll go on ahead and see to the preparations. Come and find me at the dry docks when you're ready. Before we begin, we should find out more about this Goldwheats. While it's important to place our trust in the client, I don't want to repeat the mistake we made last time. Speak with locals around the Octant. Oh, okay. Just right over here. Yep, that name has precisely one vowel, though I suppose we could count the Y. Alright. If the rumors are true, the Flaming Mongrels are involved in most of the money lending and extortion that goes on in this city. Goldwheats was at the center of the web, overseeing every aspect of these clandestine activities. Now that he has finally found the decency to give himself up, I imagine his former associates would rather he kept quiet concerning their dealings. Oh yes, everyone has heard of the Flaming Mongrels. Their modus operandi is to offer loans, increase the interest to the extent their mark has no hope of ever paying it back, then forcing that poor soul to obey their every whim. Oh, where's the last guy? This is absolutely the best possible place for them to put quest people. Oh. Oh, there we go. Hey, Rin. Yeah. Fun of the, technical difficulty kind at first, but we're finally into the game. And meanwhile, I wait for my other computer to reload so that I can actually monitor my stream properly. Okay. I am not at liberty to discuss an ongoing investigation. I can say, however, that many Yellow Jackets believe heartless curs like Goldwheats deserve nothing less than death. He and his rogues have left only tragedy and despair in their wake. Mercy would be a waste. Well. Alrighty then. Did you hear anything useful? Yes, it's just as Futang Yafutag said. Goldwheats certainly has a lot of enemies on both sides of the law. Radovan, it's not too late to refuse. Think about what you're doing. Trust me, I have. Now let's say no more on the matter. We have a job to do. Oh, right. Looks like we actually have to go to the Morbi Dry Docks now. At least there's an aetheryte right there. Oh, that's good. And the cat says hi to you all by falling asleep on the desk. All set? Good, then it's time to bring out the prisoner. I present Gildweeds, Scourge of Limsa Lominsa. His life is in your hands now. Guard him well. Thank you kindly. Are you sure you got the right man? Quite sure. Now listen carefully, this is important. We scouted the road ahead and we spotted a group of unsavory figures lying in wait. The plan is to put them down and rush past before anyone realizes what happened. Well, if that's how you prefer us to handle it, then very well. But we'll need someone to take the lead and cut through their ambush. I choose you for that role, Ayelet. Show me how far you've come as a gunbreaker. The rest of us will stay close to Gulsweets and fend off any that try to flank us. Hey, Shay! How's it going? Futag, I give you my word that we'll get him to Limsa Lominsa, even if I have to carry him there. We're depending on you, Ayelet. Once you've cleared a path, we'll be right behind you. We'll regroup at Aston's Embrace and assess the situation before moving on. Alright. Let me check the map a second. Okay, that's not far. Oop. Don't want to sprint, I want to fly. Oop. But not necessarily that way. Let's just go higher. Okay. Here's our destination. Put up the tank stance, even though I don't really need it for this, but... I thought they said multiple unsavory characters. That was just one. Oh, here we are. Of course. Okay. And yes, I'm a touch overpowered for this quest. There's no level syncing there for that, so... A pretty poor attempt at an ambush. Without the element of surprise, they're nothing. Yes, very impressive, but I'll save my thanks until we reach Limsa, if you don't mind. I bring bad news, I'm afraid. Those men weren't here to ambush you, they were only lookouts. The bulk of the enemy force lies ahead. We'll take the prisoner to a safe hiding place until those rogues have been dealt with. What? Why wasn't I informed sooner? We only just received the information ourselves. I'm to take the prisoner into custody, while you are to return to your post until further notice. As for the hirelings, their services are no longer required. Now, hold on a moment. Look, if you got a problem, take it up with Commodore Raynar. They're his orders, not mine. Alright, you made your point. Well, that's that, I suppose. Nevertheless, I'll see that you receive the full amount, as agreed. It was a pleasure working with you. Absolutely nothing about this seems suspicious. This totally sounds like business as usual. Something about this doesn't add up. Surely it would make more sense for Fute to go with him? Besides, our agreement was to see gold wheats to Limsa Lominsa, and that's exactly what I intend to do. You two, come with me. Oh, so you're just giving orders? Oh, I guess you... It looks like the shoe's on the other foot this time, so I can hardly refuse. Come on, before he does something we'll regret. I'm sure it won't be that bad. It just probably means I'll have to bash a whole bunch of other unsavory individuals into the ground. The fact that we're flying this way already is a warning sign, because Limsa is to the west. This is totally not the right way. She took him inside. If my guess is correct, there's no time to waste. Nothing for it but to follow him, I suppose. Stop this at once! Stay out of it, sellsword. My friend's dead because of this filth. He's got no right to live, so why would you protect him? Because I gave my word. Though he may be beyond redemption, he acts not for his own sake, but for the good of others. His testimony will make Limsa Lominsa a safer place. Now lower your axe. Thank the 12th you got here when you did. It didn't take long for us to find out it was all a ruse, but by then she'd already bought enough time to carry out her plan. Luckily for us, the three of you weren't so easily duped. Of course, she's not the only yellow jacket to bear a grudge against gold wheats, but I never thought any of us would go to such lengths. Fine bloody mess this is. While we may have been waylaid somewhat, our orders to escort Goldeweets still stand. Before we go, I want to thank you for all you've done. Truth is, I ain't got long to live. Even if I can escape having me head lopped off, the sickness will get me sure enough. You could have lived out your days as one of the leading figures in the underworld, rich and powerful. What made you turn yourself in? Since before I can remember, I've been cheating and killing to put food in my belly and gil in me pocket. And I was good at it too. Worked my way to the top. But the top of what? A bunch of liars, swindlers, and murderers. And when I found out I have only a few moons left, I realized, well, this is the way it is because of people like me. It ain't gotta be that way, though. Not if I say my piece. In that case, we best get you to Limsa, post-haste. Aye, before I kick the bucket. Lead the way. Oh, that's from 1.0? Okay. That's interesting. Alright. Not the most direct route, but we got there in the end. All that remains is for Goldwheats to give his testimony. On behalf of the Yellow Jackets, I offer my thanks. You kept your word. Now it's my turn. Fare ye well. Every city has its problems, this one more than most. It is high time we moved on. Seeing as we've been to Alamigo, Gradania, Ul'dah, and Limsa Lominsa, that just leaves Ishgard. I don't exactly thrive in cold climates, though. Just get yourself a decent overcoat, and you'll be fine. Well then, let's be off, says the guy who's covered in fur. Okay. Directly to Ishgard? Yes, directly to Ishgard. Okay. Okay. Unfortunately, mount's not allowed here, so we gotta hoof it. Oh, I suppose I could have teleported, but that would have saved not much time. I'll admit, it's a fair bit colder than I was expecting. Not that it's anything to be concerned about. That's easy for you to say. You'll soon get used to it, I'm sure. Anyway, Aelet, it seems that instead of offering work via an Adventurers Guild, Ishgard Temple Knights Eshu leaves. Levs, or I don't know. I don't know which pronunciation is correct. Although there do not appear to be any clients in need of protection, it is only a matter of time before something comes our way. Until then, be sure not to let your skills or your gunblade grow rusty. Alright, now let's go pretend I did other things instead of just immediately jumping to the next quest. There we go. Of defectors and defenders. Radovan and Sophie's expressions are as somber as their surroundings. We Hrothgar are quite used to snow and ice, so we sometimes forget the problems it poses for other races. This morning, a homeless her lad was found lying stone cold in the street. When they came to carry him away, he was frozen solid like a statue. The poor thing can't have been more than 20 summers old. We asked the Temple Knights if there was something we could do, and we were told they had the perfect assignment for us. Our client this time is Reese of Garland Ironworks. Their founder, Sid Garland, is one of the few Garleans to have turned his back on the Empire, and is a hero to many living under their rule. I wonder if I might have the honor of meeting him in person. At any rate, we must first head to the Sky Steel Manufactory. Alright. Which I should be able to teleport to. Yes. Upstairs? Nope. Must be outside. Oh, must have missed somebody. Oh, why did I do that? Alright, there we are. Good evening. I take it you're the bodyguard sent by the Temple Knights? There's someone I'd like you to protect. A recently defected Garlean engineer, as it happens. I'll not bore you with the details, but he is to oversee the installation of a ceruleum heating system. We're hoping it would avert tragedies like the one that recently occurred in the Broom. Yes, we saw the body being carried away. Terrible sight it was. If this engineer friend of yours needs safe passage here, we'll be glad to help. Unfortunately, the Empire does not take kindly to desertion, especially when the man in question is one of its most highly esteemed scientists. We have received word that a group known as the Aludae has been dispatched to see that he never reaches Ishgard. Gods be good. I've heard of them. Prisoners offered an opportunity to reduce their sentences through loyal service to Gardamal. By all accounts, they fight like men possessed, desperate to earn their freedom. Worst of all, they are led by Vitus Quo Messala, a man whose cruelty knows no bounds. As a soldier, he reached the rank of Pilus Prior, but was relegated after butchering a village of innocent civilians, purely to sate his own bloodlust. Even his fellow Garleans were disgusted by these barbaric acts, yet they did not to damage his reputation as a skilled warrior equal to Gaius Van Balzar himself. During my imprisonment, Vitus Quo Masala came to enlist me. I told him I'd sooner rot in gall than serve under a rabid dog like him. As you can imagine, he was far from pleased with my refusal, and he tried to persuade me by using my Magitech collar to administer countless electric shocks. I'll never forget the look in his eyes as he pushed that button over and over. Of course, not everyone is as resilient as Radovan. Many who fight for the Aludae do so against their will, though they are no less deadly for it. By the Fury, if I'd known the dangers involved, I would have called the whole thing off. It's too late now. It's too late now, though. The airship is already on its way to Coerthus. It should be arriving at the observatorium. Sadly, we couldn't gain permission to have an Imperial craft dock in the city for matters of security. From the rendezvous point, we'll proceed the rest of the way on foot. Once we're safely inside the Gates of Judgment, we can consider the mission a success. Your friend is risking his life for the sake of others, Reese. I give my word that he will reach Ishgard safely. Listen, Sophie, you know as well as I do that the Aludae are as ruthless as they are tenacious. For that reason, I want you to stay behind. You think you can take them on without me there to heal you? Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful to have you by my side, but against foes like that, Aelet and I will struggle to protect you and the engineer. Protect me? Look, Radovan, we protect each other, remember? Or perhaps you see me as nothing but a burden. Fine, have it your way. Oh, boy. Not to rush you or anything, but we should get going. I'll meet you at the airship landing on top of the tower. Before we leave, there's something I'd like to make clear. I didn't mean what I said to Sophie. I think she's an excellent conjurer and more than capable of taking care of herself. But this is Vitus Quo Masala we're dealing with, a monster who delights in toying with his prey. I can't let her face that kind of danger. It's kind of funny that you do that right now because, yeah, with the cat on my desk right now, my hand right now is, like, under her tail. She's being very insistent on being on the desk today. Which isn't unusual anymore. You see, Sophie and I have been inseparable since we escaped our Garlean captors. When I discovered what had befallen my family, I came close to taking my own life, and I might have even gone through with it if Sophie hadn't stopped me. She's lost loved ones too, but has never given up hope. Sophie helped me realize there's still a place in this world for me. In fact, it was her idea that I become a bodyguard. Although no one will ever replace the family I lost, she helped me fill that void in my life and gave me a reason to carry on. Ha! If she were here now, she would tell me to stop being such a sentimental old fool, or words to that effect. Anyway, the sooner we finish this assignment, the sooner I can get back to here and apologize to her. And yeah, I mean, yeah, that guy does sound like a psychopath. Not that that really seems uncommon for the Imperial. For folks from the Imperial Army. Where are we? Observatorium. Ah, okay. Quickest way is probably to fly down from Cat Dragonhead. I kind of wonder if they do literally mean the top of the tower. It kind of looks like it. There are actually people up here. Okay, well, yeah. Okay, just those two, but still people. Alright. Now that you're here, allow me to introduce the man you will be escorting. Katu Nan Mamula at your service. Or should that be Katu Mamula now that I'm in Ishgard? Is something the matter? No, it's nothing. Well then, shall we begin? Okay. Outside the observatorium. Okay, over here. Okay. Alright. The Yellowday knew we were coming. Hell's bells, they must have seen that airship from miles away. I'll stay with the engineer. You go on ahead and draw them out. We'll rendezvous at the camp to the north. Alright. As you wish. Yes, send them at me one at a time. Excellent tactics. Oh, okay, two at a time this time. Yes. Yes. You'll be sure to get me that way if you send them at me just one at a time. Orderly, you know, just stand around me in a circle and send in one guy at a time. Yeah, that's the best way. Okay. Yeah, hopefully we'll get into a duty soon that level sinks me so that I'm not so overpowered over all these guys. Okay. I think they're... Oh, nope. Not inside the building. I've just got to wait here. And people willingly attack you for idiots. Yes. Somehow you gotta feel that way for just about anybody in Final Fantasy XIV that attacks the Warrior of Light. I mean, some of the Yellowdays stayed in their hiding places until you had passed. One of them got to Reese. He's hurt, but it could have been a lot worse. I'm sorry, they caught me by surprise. We've made it this far, but Vitus is still out there. If this is just a taste of what the Aladay have in store for us, our best option is to avoid confrontation altogether. Mamula and I will sneak past them while you and Ree stay behind. The two of us stand a better chance than a group of 4. Oh. And we were just joking here about them splitting, about the wisdom of splitting up. Very well, I don't think we have much of a choice, so take care of Mamula. We'll meet back in Ishgard. My colleagues will contact me via Link Pearl once Master Mamula has arrived in Ishgard. In the meantime, we should lie low. We don't want to alert the Adelaide to our presence any more than we already have. Oh, and I better get these wounds looked at. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Or, you know, let me change class to Scholar real quick and heal. Oh, I guess we're not doing that. Okay. Thank goodness you're alright. You've been gone so long, I came looking for you. I met a few nasty characters on the way here, but I soon sent them packing. Wait, where's Radovan? And the engineer you're supposed to be escorting? Katu Namamula? Oh, yep. This had nothing to do with tactics. If the two of them are together, then... Radovan never talks to anyone about it, but he comes from a place called Bozja Citadel. It was utterly destroyed in a Garlean experiment gone wrong. In charge of the project were Midas Nan Garlan and his right-hand man, Kedo Nan Mamula. Radovan's opposition to Bozja being used as a testing ground for potentially dangerous magitech led to his imprisonment, and his fears were proved correct when the city was obliterated. There's a strong chance he's planning to exact his revenge. We have to stop him. They headed west toward Ishgard, yes? We should be able to follow their tracks. There's no time to lose. Fine, fine. We'll save the Imperial Engineer. Well, I don't have to be happy about it. Yeah, Radovan, how far exactly did you take him past the Gates of Judgment? Ishgard was like right there. We are going way past Ishgard now. All right. Kind of feels like you guys are still walking away from Ishgard. For my homeland! For my family! Bozja. Aelin? Stay back. This fiend robbed me of everything I held dear. Don't deny me my vengeance. Come on, man. You swore to protect him. I will not beg your forgiveness. However, I ask that you hear my final words. Midas and I knew there were risks involved with the experiment, but we did not foresee that it could fail so catastrophically. I have lived with unending, agonizing guilt ever since. From that day forth, I have sought redemption, a chance to somehow right the wrongs I have committed. That is why I asked Midas' son, Sid, to aid my defection from Garlemald, that my knowledge and expertise may be put to good use. But I always knew that the sins of my past would return to haunt me. I submit myself to your judgment. I think this first one sounds better. Does the word of a gunbreaker mean nothing? What have I become? My honor as a gunbreaker. As a man, I've thrown it all away. You are the last of us now. Sure, fine. Leave me to escort him all when you've taken him, like, so far past Ishgard. You want us to kill him now, sir? No, the old goat can wait. It's the prowling lion I want. Yes, your head will make a fine trophy. Lovely. Is my Mula alright? And where's Radovan? Wandered off, but we still got a job to do. And I dread to think what might have happened if you hadn't stopped him. Come on, Ayla. With or without Radovan, we still have a job to do. Let's get Mamula to Ishgard. Okay. That was a quick trip. After the trouble you had reaching Camp Dragonhead, I'm pleasantly surprised the Alliday kept away from us for the remainder of the journey. Yes, fortunate indeed. All's well that ends well, as the saying goes. One thing still troubles me, though. If that Vitus Quo Messala is as ruthless as they say, I doubt the walls of Ishgard will deter him from pursuing his target. As such, Master Mamula will be closely guarded until we can be certain and safe. Yes, it would be a shame if I were kept from fulfilling my obligations. I hope that next time we meet, I shall have glad tidings to share. Okay. We managed to get Mamula here unharmed, but in doing so, we've lost sight of Radovan. He could be anywhere by now. Well, we've been through too much for me to turn my back on him now. If he decides to get his act together, he knows where to find me. Until then, we better be on the lookout for the Alliday. I doubt we've seen the last of them. Steel against steel. Sophie is beginning to wonder if Radovan will ever return. It's just been like, 5 seconds, Sophie. Oh, just kidding. For better or worse, the Alliday are nowhere to be seen. Reese and the others seem to think they've abandoned their mission and gone back to Garlemald, which I highly doubt. For them, failure simply isn't an option. But what I want to know is, where's Radovan? I have a good mind to pack up and leave him here. Or at least find him somewhere warmer to wait for him. If there's one thing I can't bear, it's standing about doing nothing, especially somewhere as bitterly cold as this. I know, let's go and ask the Temple Knights if they have any work for us. Not where I was expecting that conversation to go, but okay. Alright, let's... Wait. Let's... Okay, manufacturing is the closest. What took you so long? I've already been and spoken to them. Anyway, there's a client looking for protection, but they wish to remain anonymous. We're supposed to meet them in a place called Twin Pools, which is in western Coerthus, apparently. Seeing as we have nothing better to do, we may as well go and find out what they want. It should pass the time until Radovan comes back, if nothing else. Always to the cold places with Ishgard. Alright. And of course, way out there. One thing I don't like about the Western Highlands, having the Aetheryte just... yeah. way down here. This is really out here in the middle of nowhere. Prospective client, why are you standing in a... well, why is this going to turn into a duty? Okay. Okay, that's interesting. My prayers have been answered. I was beginning to think the Temple Knights had forgotten about me. I do hope you'll forgive my need for secrecy. The nature of my request is very sensitive, you see. Now, if you would be so kind as to follow me... Oh. I can't break free. Okay, you got me. Wriggle all you want, little fly. Nothing escapes my web. How did you hide all that under a robe? Seriously. Why am I asking such questions in a realm where we can magically glamour everything? Ah, but 'twould be a shame for you to die without knowing the name of the spider who ensnared you. I am Vitus Quote Masala, commander of the Yellowday. When we came to collect that old goat who had strayed from the herd, I never expected to find a prowling lion. Or should I say, warrior of light? Yeah, hi. There are many in Garlemald who would be delighted were I to present your course. Wonder if that's an error or... oh well. And I doubt that restoring me to Pilot's Prior will suffice. No, Legatus would be far more fitting. Vitus von Masala has such a wonderful ring to it. Yes, so close I can almost taste it. Your tail end's here. Yeah, that would be kind of cool if they did that. Actually made that kind of glamour a plot point. Oh, hi. Radovan, where the bloody hells have you been? Tracking the Yaldabaoth. That's how I knew they'd come after you, Aeolette. Prisoner 1441, if I'm not mistaken. First you refused my kind offer, then you have the audacity to escape. And now this? Whatever am I to do with you? You're not the only one with a few tricks up his sleeve, Vitus. When we first encountered the Yaldabaoth, I noticed the collars they were wearing. I had one myself not so long ago. This must be your way of maintaining discipline. I took one of them to Mamula, who engineered a device similar to yours. How ironic that the very collars you were so fond of could be turned against you. Okay, you got a little bit of a temper problem, you know that? Worthless dogs. Of course, I never needed the Yaldabaoth or those Magitech traps to slay the likes of you, but I prefer to leave nothing to chance. No matter, we'll just have to settle this the old-fashioned way. Speaking of which, where did you find those antiques? If you think they can compare to a Garlean gunblade, you are wrong. Very wrong. As much as I wish to fight him alone, there is more at stake here than my pride. We must rid the world of this beast once and for all. Aeolette, Sophie, follow my lead. Hopefully this is far enough out of the way. Oh, yes. I've enjoyed our little game, but the time has come to end it. This does not look good. Understood. So it's come to this. No choice but to use Final Bastion. Okay. All spent, little flies? Now, Warrior of Light, there's no one left to save you. Really? Gaius's tricks didn't work on me, Vitus. I'm not gonna work just because you do them. Impressive, but no match for Golly and Magitech. Have at you! I think I'm gonna... Oh. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. You're not going to hit me with any of those. How dare you! I think it's a weird mechanic for them to bring to the Gunbreaker battle. I mean, with the skill that it closes me in real fast called Rough Divide there. Yeah, it just puts me right behind where those things are gonna go, so... Still, otherwise, that wasn't a bad fight, so... Alright, anyway. I never thought I'd live to see the day that Vitus Quo Masala met his match. You were a better Gunbreaker than I ever was. And for what it's worth, I'm sorry for all the trouble I've put you both through. You're sorry? I should bloody well hope so, too, you great oaf. What were you thinking, threatening Mamula like that? Not to mention leaving us to escort him to Ishgard. When Aelite found me in Mamula, I noticed the Alloday watching us from a nearby cliff top. I thought it was strange that they'd pass up the opportunity to attack us, so I made it appear as though I'd abandoned you and started following them in secret. I discovered that the primary target was now the Warrior of Light, not Kato Mamula. Their scouts saw you on the way to Cap Dragonhead, reported it to Vitus, who then called off the ambush to see for himself if the information was valid. Powerful as he was, he would never show his hand unless he was certain of victory, so he waited to make his move. One thing I did know for certain is that even if the three of us fought together, we wouldn't stand a chance against the full might of the Allidae. That was when I decided to consult our fugitive engineer. We talked into the early hours of the morning until we reached an understanding, and he agreed to construct the Magitech control device. In order for our plan to work, I would have to remain hidden until the very last moment, even from the two of you. But I thought you needed time alone to think about what you'd done. The remorse I felt for dishonoring myself was no act. When I realized Mamula's identity, I wanted to confront him about Bosha, but I needed to get him away from you and Reese. I never had any intention of killing him. All I wanted was for him to admit to his crimes. But it still gave me a sick sense of satisfaction to see him on his knees, defeated. That's when I knew I'd betrayed the ideals of the Gunbreaker, that I'd abandoned my honor. I want to thank you for guiding me back to the true path. With Vitus gone, any remaining members of the Allidae are free of his control, and are likely to be treated as fugitives running from the Empire. In any case, I think it's safe for Mamula to come out of hiding now. Also, I just noticed this, but they actually did have Sophie get a big overcoat. I love that. Usually they don't change character attire for much, for many reasons like that. Okay, oh, I just need to go back to Ishgard. Okay. Okay. Or wait. How far? Oh, they're right next to that Aetheryte, so let's go for it. Which is, forgotten that here. Allow me to express my gratitude for vanquishing the Allidae, which I understand was due in no small feat to Radovan's marvelous idea involving the Magitech collars. I am glad to hear the device I cobbled together functioned as intended. Yes, we couldn't have done it without your help. Vitus alone pushed the three of us to our limits. Had the Allidae joined the fight, things would have ended very differently. We owe you our lives. All things considered, it was the least I could do. A remarkably simple matter, in fact, compared to my next endeavor, the installation of Ishgard's Ceruleum heating system. While I may never be able to adequately repay the kindness I have been shown, I must begin somewhere. Until we meet again. Aelet, since I first met you, I knew you had the potential to become a gunbreaker. As the only one of my clan to escape the destruction of Bozja Citadel, I thought the art of the gunblade would die with me. Now that I have passed on all I know to you, my successor, I feel there is little for you to gain by taking on assignments with us. Yes, we can hardly expect the Warrior of Light to spend valuable time assisting us with our money-making schemes. Before we part ways, however, there's one last piece I would like to visit with you. I hear that a great many adventurers who hope to make a name for themselves head to Revenant's Toll. I imagine there will be plenty to keep us busy. But more than anything, I'm hoping to find others to whom I can impart the teachings of my clan. Once people see you with your gunblade strapped to your back, I'm sure they'll pique their curiosity. So, will you come with us? Yes, don't worry. Everything else going on in the world waits for the Warrior of Light. That's fine. Oh! Takes us straight here again. Okay. That's nice. I must confess, we would have struggled to find the place without you. Yes, when I first heard about a remote settlement populated almost entirely by adventurers and the like, I was expecting it to be a lot more lawless and chaotic. Knife fights over card games, that sort of thing. What a pleasant surprise it turned out to be. With a little luck, I'll find candidates to train as gunbreakers. Although it goes against the traditions of my clan to teach outsiders, meeting you has proved to me that we are being overly cautious. You see, the gunblade is forged for one purpose, to protect. We fear that its techniques would fall into the hands of those who seek to oppress and conquer, such as the Garleans and the elegants before them. Centuries of being beset by enemies on all sides taught us to fear and mistrust those not of our clan. That's why we kept our art such a closely guarded secret. But when you came to our rescue that day, you acted without a thought for your own safety to aid those in need. This is the true essence of the Gunbreaker. You have your own ideals to protect your promise. You have your own ideals to protect, your own promises to keep. Go forth, Aelat, and follow your path, wherever it may lead. Alright. Following your hard-wrought victory, you have mastered a new technique. Which we actually used during that fight, but because this is New Game Plus. In order to undertake the next Gunbreaker quest, you must first meet the following requirements. You must complete the main scenario quest, Shadowbringers. You must have completed the role quest to have loved and lost. Once you've done so, the next Gunbreaker quest will be available from Radovan. But actually, we are out of New Game Plus mode, because that is actually Part 2. And Part 2 is not very long. If it's anything like the Dancer quest anyway, it's not very long. So, there we are. Let us commence it. Ah, here he is. Right here. Radovan and Sophie are settling in to Radovan's toll, yet still yearn for adventure. Ah, Aelet, it's good to see you again. Since we last met, I've been introduced to a fair few adventurers who hope to learn the art of the Gunbreaker. Though having taught you, my expectations are perhaps a little too high. Thanks. Thanks. Radovan's been so preoccupied, he's hardly taken on any other jobs, leaving me with plenty of time on my hands. Those women who work for Owena have had me running about after bookstones. Or was it stone tombs? I forget which. Anyway, what have you been up to? Oh, the friend who became a gunbreaker. Yeah, let's go with that. Friend who became a gunbreaker. How can that be? Learned it while in Imperial territory, yeah? But that doesn't change the fact that I'm the only gunbreaker to escape the destruction of Bozja's Citadel. And if I didn't train him, who did? That's it. One of the others must still be out there. Now that you mention it, an adventure from Dardania told me they saw a man in the Carline canopy carrying a weapon a lot like your gunblade. A Hrothgar, too. I thought they were talking about you, so I didn't pay much attention. But you haven't been back there since we moved to Revenant Toll. I wonder who it could be. Sophie, why didn't you say something sooner? If it is truly one of my fellow gunbreakers, I have to find them. We should probably go with him. Even if there is another gunblade-wielding Hrothgar, it doesn't necessarily mean they'll be pleased to see Radovan. Perhaps Mother Mion knows something about it? That sounds like a trip to Gardenia. Okay. And it's just down here we have to go. Why, yes, a man like the one you described was here but a few days ago. And you're sure he had a gunblade like mine? Identical, I would say. But more importantly, he was looking for you, Radovan. As I was in the midst of explaining the assignment I gave you, he suddenly ran off in search of your former client. He was gone before I had a chance to ask his name. Who could he be? And what does he want? Oh, look! It's my favorite bodyguards! Oh, what a surprise. I was hoping we'd never... I thought we'd never see you again. Since last we met, my sweet Marigold has returned to thrilling audiences with her uplifting performances. As a matter of fact, we have come here to drink to her continued success. Oh, boy. Then your timing and choice of venue are impeccable, for we have need of your help. Do you by any chance remember a Hrothgar man who was looking for Radovan? He might have asked you about the assignment to guard Editha. Yes, I know of whom you speak. We had heard that Radovan was last seen making a beeline for Ul'dah, and we told him as much. He won't stay for long when he realizes I'm no longer there. I best find him before he moves on. If he follows a similar line of questioning, it'll lead him to our former client. Since Oriel is most likely still undergoing treatment, he'll probably end up talking to Gerard instead. I must say, he was a rather fearsome-looking chap, not the sort of person you want chasing you. Make sure he doesn't kill you or anything. Thanks, Editha. And yeah, that is quite the outfit. Alright. Off to Ul'dah. Okay. And the closest should be Sapphire Avenue Exchange. There we go. Okay. Okay, Gerard. Thanks to you, Tim and I have been living together for a little while now. Most of the money I earn goes to Frondale's Fronistry for Oriel's care, though thankfully we still have enough to keep a roof over our heads. Slowly but surely she's improving, though she still can't forgive herself for what she put Tim through. Not sure I can either, but we're all she's got. Daddy says Mummy was very sick before, but she's getting better. Happiness comes easily to some people, while others have to fight for it. I hope you find the strength to support each other in the days to come. Thank you, sir. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, but a man was asking about you. A Hrothgar bloke. Similar sword, too. After I told him you'd left Ul'dah, he headed off in the direction of the airship landing. Not again. He's probably already in Limsa Lominsa looking for you. Let's go straight to Futag Yafutag and pray we're not too late. Okay. So off to noisy Limsa Lominsa. Let us teleport right into the crowd. At least we get to walk out of it quickly. Or run out of it, I should say. Crowds. This is the first time I've seen the three of you since that business with Goldwease, yes? As planned, his testimony led to the convictions of several high-profile criminals. Then a few days later, he died peacefully in his sleep. I see. Even though he knew he was beyond forgiveness, his final deed has made Limsa Lominsa a safer place. If only he had seen the error of his ways sooner. There was one other thing. A fellow an awful lot like yourself came through here not long ago, and he was looking for you, Radovan. I told him that you had moved on, and he should try his luck around the airship landing. Then he must have gone to Ishgard. And he'll eventually find his way to Reese, who will hopefully keep him busy until we arrive. Come on, we best get going. The full tour. Alright. Hopefully he's still up here. Yeah, okay, good. Alright. Ah, there you are. We were just discussing that gunbreaker fellow you're chasing after. He was here looking for you, but I'm afraid you missed him. I might have guessed. Back to Revenant's Toll it is, then. Hold on. When I mentioned Master Mamula, that Hrothgar fellow seemed rather taken aback, and then asked where he could find him. I didn't see any reason not to tell him, so... You bloody fool! If a Bozjan survivor is looking for him, his life could be in danger. By the Fury, what have I done? Where's Mamula? He went to inspect the exterior walls of Camp Dragonhead, so he's probably at Providence Point. Okay. Let's go. Okay. At least it's closer to Camp Dragonhead this time. Oh, I don't want to sprint, I want to fly. Okay. Voices up ahead. With me, Ayelet. Stop! Radovan, I've been looking everywhere for you. Get away from him, Rostic! Please calm yourself, Radovan. He means me no harm. Like you, I've chosen to put the past behind me. In fact, I came here to ask for Mamula's aid in rebuilding Vostra Citadel. But that's... impossible? Far from it. You see, we were not the only ones to escape the destruction of our home. Those who were away on missions or visiting other settlements were spared. Then there's the chance that... Listen, Radovan, your family is gone. Lost in the blast. The monarchy, too. And yet, our clan lives on. I will seek out survivors so that we may build a home together. And if we cannot return to where Bozra once stood, we should find a new land to call our own. Nothing will ever right the wrongs I have committed. Even so, I should do everything in my power to make Rostic's dream a reality. Radovan, will you join us? I'm sorry, Rostic. I've already lost one family, and I do not wish to lose another. Though we are not joined by blood and are as different as night and day, we have each other. Aww. And that is not all. I have passed on the way of the Gunbreaker to Ayelet, the first of many, I hope. I, too, taught someone from outside of our clan how to wield the gunblade. You have much in common with him, Radovan. He, too, has someone he wants to keep by his side, like family. If you meet any other Bozjans, tell them I would welcome their help. Perhaps one day our paths will cross again. Look after each other. Thank you, Rostic. Fare thee well. So much for being a gunblade-wielding murderer. He seemed quite nice, actually. Yes, I'm glad to have been proven wrong on this occasion. Rostic is still as honorable and as wise as I remember him. Nonetheless, I appreciate your coming to my aid, and I must admit, I feared the worst when he appeared out of nowhere, though he soon made his intentions clear. I never expected such kindness from not one, but two men who have every reason to want me dead. I am grateful to you both for allowing me to work for the greater good. Speaking of which, I must fulfill my obligations to the Ish Guardians. Until we meet again. Now that's over, we should return to Revenant's Toll and try to earn back the money we spent on airship tickets. Okay. Okay, so we gotta go back to Revenant's Toll. That unison nod? Yeah, well... I mean, that's almost the only way the Warrior of Light speaks, is in stoic nods, so... Those nods say a lot. Oh, whoop. My bad. Wrong place. Wrong place. There we go. Okay. All this time, I thought I was the only Bozjan left. Now I know that Rostic and several others are still out there. Perhaps I don't need to rush my search for new gunbreakers. In fact, I think I would be better off working as a bodyguard again, and show people throughout Eorzea what we Bozjans are capable of. Seeing is believing, after all. Maybe I could do the same for Damaska? Oh, did I not tell you? I'm originally from Ravenastar, the capital. The city itself was destroyed, deliberately I might add, by the Garleans after the failed rebellion, but our traditions live on. And I think I'd make quite a good ambassador for my people. If everything goes according to plan, we'll be traveling the far corners of the realm and meeting all sorts of people. Though we'll still use Revenant's Toll as a place to hang our hats, I believe the saying goes. Of course, with as gifted a successor as you, I'll have to keep training so I won't be outdone. Or maybe you'll be the one teaching me next time. Alright. And that brings that to an end. Originally I was thinking about doing some more Final Fantasy XIV content. I was thinking about doing the Summoner job quest, but I recently learned that Endwalker Summoner is changing a lot. So, if I'm going to do that, I think we'd better wait till sometime after Endwalker. After I've had a chance to, like, relearn the class. I barely remember it as it is now, so... So, with that, I think we're gonna call this one early tonight. So, let's go ahead and find somebody to raid. Let's see who's up. I think I'll send you guys over to Tresden, who's doing Super Mario RPG. So, let's... There we go. Alright, thanks again everybody for coming. See you tomorrow for more Disco Elysium. Bye-bye.